Let's get this out of the way. Every NRI earning money has a myth that he believes in, including myself, that earning your income in a stronger currency means that you automatically are investing right. It doesn't. And one important thing before we get started, if you're watching this video with a mindset, I know exactly where I'm investing and I know what I need to do, then whatever I'm going to say right now might actually feel a little bit uncomfortable for you. But if you have an open mindset and want to understand how this can be structured in a proper way, then this might potentially save you thousands of pounds and years of frustration of missed opportunity. If you're new to the channel, my name is Will. I do NRI specific content, finance related content for folks like you and me who live abroad. If you like such content, hit the subscribe button and get notified about any new videos that I drop, which happens to be on a Sunday morning. Stick around, stay part of the community. In this video, I'm ranking the worst to the best NRI investment idea. This is based on the returns, the currency impact, and long-term wealth creation. These are purely based on numbers and actual facts. Let's start with the most popular NRI investment idea, which most of your parents or relatives would suggest to every NRI, is to invest into fixed deposit in India. Have you heard of these interest rates between 6 and 7%? Looks really enticing, right? But here's the fact that nobody tells you. If you put all of your money, bulk of your money into fixed deposit, then you're parking your biggest wealth creation that you can ever do into something that's never going to give you any return. When you convert your stronger currency into a weak currency and put that money away aside for years into fixed deposit, which gives you a meager 6 to 7% return, and when it comes to withdrawing this money and taking it back to, let's say, America, UK, or Australia, then you're converting something which is weaker, which constantly depreciates between 4 and 5%. And you're trying to take that money and convert it back into a stronger currency. At that point in time, your investment or your return absolutely zeroes out. Basically, putting away your money locked away for 3 to 4 years, thinking that that is the return that you're going to gain from that. And eventually, it's not something that you're going to gain anything out of that at all. I've heard stories about people not even making any returns from that. Don't put your money away into fixed deposit. Don't put all of your money into fixed deposit in India just by looking at the interest rate that's been offered by the banks. Use your fixed deposit options in India for specific purpose only, such as some emergencies, expected expenses in the future. That is purely tied to anything to do with India connection. That is the only money that you want to put it aside into fixed deposit, because whatever the returns that you make out of that investment is going to be spent in India. So that money has some value when you're spending it in India. That money does not have value when you move it back to wherever you've transferred it from. Fixed deposit is the worst possible investment idea. This worked for our parents back in the 1996, but does not work in the current global environment. To stay away from that. I've made a separate video talking about fixed deposit, and I'll put the link down in the description for you to check out. Buying a property in India. Now this is very emotional. And these purchases that every NRI make is purely driven by emotions. You buy a property because your parents have told you. Relatives will tell you that the property prices are going up, and they force you, or rather manipulate you, to actually put your hard-earned money into property in India. Sometimes it's also peer pressure as well. Your colleagues are buying property in India and you feel pressurized that you're missing out on an opportunity. And what do? You take out your opportunity fund that you've saved up for something else and put it away in an asset which gives you a rental yield of between 1 and 2%. And that time, your money that you've saved up or probably invested into something will lose its opportunity to grow. You don't actually straight away jump into a property purchase as soon as you've started making money. There are various factors that affect your rental yield in India when you're invested in Indian property. First of all, as I said, rental yield is between 1 and 2%. There's a high cost maintenance that goes into upkeeping this. There's a constant headache of when the property has any breakages or any issues, the phone calls from the tenants telling you to get it fixed. And then there is maintenance, upkeeping the property. And when the tenants moves out, you need to find a new tenant for your property. These are all your constant headache, and you have to be in an active property management thought. And if you want to stay away from all of these things, then you'll have to hire a property management company, which means additional expenses. You need to pay them each month on a consistent basis just for them to take care of your property, act on your behalf, and take care of your property to look after it so that it retains its value. When you factor in all of these things, your returns are basically nothing. It's purely emotionally driven purchase that you've made, and that property will be waiting for you to drop by once a year. Property is not a bad investment, but buying without a strategy is the worst thing to do. Have a strategy in terms of when you want to buy these properties. I've made a separate video talking extensively about buying properties in India, and I'll put the link down in the description below for you to check out, which should give you some clarity in terms of whether to buy, avoid, or postpone your purchase. Gold investment. I'm pretty sure most of our parents, relatives, everybody tells you that this is a very good form of investment. With the available options that we have right now, gold isn't a place for you to park majority of your savings into. Buying a physical gold is an absolute no-no. I'll put a link in the description below where I've explained extensively in terms of how you can invest your money into gold and what is the best possible way and the most tax efficient way to invest into gold. The link is in the description for you to check out. But before we go into that, just understand gold is good only when the markets are fluctuating. The stock market is in a panic mode. There's a war going on, and there's an uncertain time. There's financial turmoil. All of those things affects gold's performance, and the gold automatically rallies up to stabilize all of these uncertain times. Putting away some money into gold is good, but not all of it. Your gold investment should only be between 5 and 10% and nothing more than that. If your gold investment is between 10 to 15% in your portfolio, then fear is driving your investment, not the growth. Make sure your gold investment stays between 5 and 10% and nothing more than that. Global equity ETF. Now this is where NRI will start making financial decisions by investing into diversified global index ETFs. We're talking about S&P 500 ETFs. We're talking about the FTSE All World ETFs and MSCI Asia Emerging Markets. When you use these investment ideas to put your money aside, this will give you a good return. And this return will multiply and compound over a period of time. Earlier you start investing into these assets, you will build wealth on a long-term basis. And if you stay consistently invested for 15 to 20 year period of time, I'll guarantee you that you'll never make a loss. Broad market ETF gives you diversification, it gives you liquidity, and it also ensures that your currency is well aligned. That way you're not focused your investment into a single specific market such as India and putting all your money away into that particular country to perform. Instead, you are putting all your money into assets such as globally diversified, which includes America, Asian market, which includes India as well. You can include the European market as well. That way your funds are performing across the globe and your money is spread across all over the globe. And that's the advantage that the NRIs have. And we should utilize this particular option that's available for us, because that is the backbone of building wealth. The best investment isn't a product. It is a system wherein you're separating your income from your investment. You have a clear goal in mind, £1 million or £2 million in the next 20 years. You're automating this investment to reach that goal. You are setting aside £300, £400, £500 or $500 each month to put into that investment so that it automatically grows. You're not panic driven. You're not worried about what the market is doing or how the market is performing. You're not emotionally being driven by some other people's idea. You're laser focused in your goal. You're taking risk intentional. And when you stay focused and when you follow this system, you build yourself for financial freedom. And that is quite easily achievable by every NRIs. If anyone wants to start investing, I recommend you to start today, no matter what age you are. If you are in your 20s, you've got the time on your side, which is the biggest asset. Make sure you utilize and start investing early. The compounding is just going to do its magical wonders. Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. Utilize that. If you're in your 30s, 40s, it's irrelevant. Any day is the best day, but make sure if you've had a thought of investing, make sure you get in straight away. And this is how NRIs build wealth quietly without stress. And if this video helped you get a clear perspective of investing and managing your wealth, hit that like button so that YouTube can notify the other NRIs. See you in the next one.